So Rishi, obviously, everybody that works in e-commerce know this concept of funnel, right? Like from the home page to the category page to the product page and finally to the thank you page. Sure, I forgot about cart and checkout in the funnel, but the point is you go from one step, homepage or whatever you're coming from to a thank you page. And obviously, a lot of marketers realizes that in the past few years, nobody goes straight from like homepage all the way down to the thank you page. There's a lot of different funnels, and the funnel is not linear. Now, what I realize is that that type of funnel is not the only funnel that is present on an e-commerce website. And I want to show you, like, I want to give you some examples of other funnels that are present on a website, on an e-commerce website, that nobody really talks about, but they're super, super important from a conversion rate optimization perspective. So the first one is what I call the product page funnel. And what that means is that if you are a user coming from, let's say, like Facebook, from a Facebook ad, and you're landing on a product page, right? There's 100%, 100%, actually 0% drop off, right? In the funnel when you arrive on the product page for the content above the fold. Like everybody, 100% conversion rate for the content above the fold, right? But then when you go down, the more the page goes down, the more the users start to drop off. So the more you go down the page, the less users will see the content. And that's also a funnel, because you'll have like 100% conversion rate on the top of the funnel, on the top of the page, and then, very, very low conversion rate for the bottom of the page. What do you think about this concept?
I think it's such a genius idea because, as you were talking about this, to me, a funnel is a way of understanding behavior. And the more specific your funnel is, the more you understand it. So when you were talking about this, I was just thinking about one funnel for the automobile industry could be car sales. Well,
Mm-hmm.
yes, at a very broad economic level, it gives us a good picture of what's happening. But a funnel that talks about truck sales is much more meaningful, or a funnel that talks about diesel cars is much more
Mm-hmm.
meaningful in terms of a diesel car manufacturer. And I think that's what you're talking about. You're saying, look, if you're Amazon and you're looking at your overall funnel, there's lots of value there. But if you're a website that has certain within this funnel are micro funnels, is what I think what you're saying. So yeah, tell us more about what your vision is.
Yeah, and the other type of and this is an example, right? Like, yeah, I mentioned the product page, but it could be any type of page, right? Like if you have a SaaS business, right, and most of your users arrive on the homepage has a funnel within the homepage, right? So it's in general the product at the page level. Obviously, in e-commerce, a lot of traffic is being driven to the product page. But I want to talk about other type of funnels that, again, they're, as you called them, micro funnel, that people don't really talk about. Another one that I'm a huge fan of is the image gallery funnel, right? So if you're, again, on the product page, the main image of the product in the image gallery has 100% visibility or conversion rate, whatever you want to call it. Like 100 people out of 100 will see that product image, right? Now, what happens is that most product pages have a lot of different images in the image gallery. And the more the image is at the last spot, the less visibility it gets. So it's the same kind of concept of a funnel. What do you
Absolutely.
think about this topic?
I absolutely, I think what you're really talking about is stop looking at things as checkboxes, because I think a lot of brands will say we know the best practices to add an image gallery. So we've added an image gallery, checkbox complete. And what you're talking about is that no, that is actually a funnel. And within the funnel, you have friction points. You may discover that no one is going beyond the third image. And if you have 12 images, you should either remove the remaining images because they're meaningless, or figure out a way to get people beyond the third image. And if you don't have a funnel, you would never know that. You would simply say checkbox is complete. And there's a lot of data that's getting lost in that checkbox is complete mindset. I love it.
Yeah,
But I
because
think there
also,
might be more, right? I think you have some more funnels in mind.
yeah. Well, before I tell you the next one, what I this is related to the way people choose the order of the product image gallery on a product page. Usually it's been done randomly, right? Like I can't think of any brand, right, that has told me, oh yeah, no, we spent a lot of time thinking about the order of the image gallery. Have you
And it
ever heard
matters so
anybody
much.
say that?
It and it matters so much because no, I've never heard. And I think it matters so much because, as you and I have talked about, the one element that we can be absolutely confident will get attention on the product page is the image gallery. And the other thing is that, there's a logical reason for this. The biggest disadvantage of online shopping is that you cannot touch and feel the product. The image gallery is the best proxy for actually being able to investigate the product. So, of course, people are going to interact with it. And I think that goes back to your point about the sequencing in which those images are shown.
Yeah, imagine if this is like, just to have fun, you and I. But imagine if a brand had, let's say, 20 product images on the image gallery, and at product image number 20, there's a copy that says you get the product for free, right? I guarantee you, Rishi, a super, 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 super low percentage of people will actually get the product for free because nobody gets to like image gallery number 20.
I totally agree.
So let's talk about the third one, which is in relation to another element that is extremely, extremely important for the user's decision-making process on a product page, and that's a reviews pagination funnel. Do you want to talk about this? Because you and I spoke about this as well, and I know this is something that you've been thinking a lot about as well.
Yeah, again, I think it just goes back to the checklist mentality. We know we have data that says, more reviews are better than less reviews. And we know reviews really matter. So the checklist mindset is to say, let's add reviews. And now we have reviews. We've solved the social proof problem. And I think the funnel will help you understand how effectively you solve the problem. Because the reality is that if you have reviews and people are reading one or two reviews, that's not enough persuasion. That's not enough variety of data for the consumer to make a decision. And you have to somehow get them to consume more reviews. So I think this pagination thing is really important because to me, as someone who's analyzing this data, someone who's gone to scan through page 1, page 2, and page 3 of reviews is much, much more highly to convert versus someone who just scrolled down to the review section and left it. So maybe you can talk a little bit more about your funnel idea.
Yeah, so this concept of reviews funnel is actually interesting because like image gallery, you have 100% freedom to understand the user and tracking the behavior of the user when it comes to clicking on the image gallery, and also you have 100% freedom to choose the order of the images in the image gallery, right? The problem with the pagination in the reviews is that most of the times the e-commerce and DTC brands, they use like a tool for the reviews. Like if you think about the average Shopify brand, they don't hard code the reviews themselves, right? They use a tool. This is why Shopify is great because of the whole like apps ecosystem. Now, what happens is that brands don't have 100% freedom of what order to display the reviews. Usually it's like, oh, you display the reviews based on, I don't know, recency, or based on maybe you have freedom over like the ability to choose like the top most important positive review, kind of like what Amazon does. But what happens is that you're actually dependent of the reviews app in order to show what to show on the reviews. So that's the only kind of like thing that I would be thinking about when it comes to the reviews pagination funnel. You like brands don't have freedom to decide what order to show the reviews. While for the other ones, product page funnel, right? You have 100% freedom to decide what to show on the top of the product page versus at the bottom of the product page. And the same for the gallery.
I mean, yeah, just as you're talking about this, like I feel like it's something that I have never seen any brand talk about, but I think that they literally need to have all of these funnels. And there could be, I mean, and you need to configure them just the way Google has Google Analytics has a funnel for checkout flow, so it's there so people study it. Well, you need to create these kind of funnels as well, because it really gives you really rich insights into what's happening. I
And
just
it's
absolutely.
super, honestly, like, start with the easiest one, which is like the image gallery funnel. I believe this is the easiest one because you literally just have to set up an event, a click event on every single image gallery, and then you can get a little bit fancier and basically like show visually the actual funnel on Google Data Studio, for example. But this is like a little bit more advanced, but not really. To maybe like go to your manager, go to your CEO and say, hey guys, we need to freaking think about the image gallery because 100% conversion rate for the first image, and only like 5% of people see the last image of the gallery, which is like super important in the decision making process of the user.
Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. Any other funnels that come to mind, or are these the core
No,
ones?
no, that's it.
I love it. I think people will think this is a brand. It is truly a new idea. I've never heard it. So thank you for sharing this.
All right. Thank you for listening, guys.
All right. Bye bye.